As Vladimir Putin's invasion of Ukraine faces stalemate on the front, drone warfare has come to characterize Russia's war. And while Ukraine's long-range drone fleet is wreaking havoc across Russia, Ukraine has long faced the Kremlin's own long-range attacks that hit civilians almost as much as infrastructure and military targets. This is a constantly evolving technical battle.
We are at the Defence Tech Valley Conference in Lviv,
where Ukrainian companies, volunteer groups and others are working on the weapons, training and equipment to halt the Russian drone threat.
We produce FPV drones, and now right now we are focused on drone Interceptor against Russian reconnaissance drones and Shahed. Our idea was to connect these drones with a radar network, which is working right now in Ukraine. And the drone has the coordinate of enemy target, and the pilot can understand where it is, and the pilot can actually hit the target with this drone. So we can use explosive inside, but we also it made with really hard nose. Actually, you can see it, and it can destroy enemy wings or enemy airplanes, small one, with just physical strike. You see that right now we can see thousands of drones which Russia can produce in a year. It's not possible to use such expensive weapon as, for example, F-35 to hit these fake drones made from wood and plastic and some other cheap material. So our idea is to use this drone, which costs $600–700 to intercept these cheap targets, because it's not possible to use expensive weapons against. Our Polish friends waste several $1 million to hit targets which cost, I don't know, $10,000. Anyway, so even so rich and wealthy countries as UK or USA should think about it, because it's a matter of quantity of drones. So we cannot use such an expensive weapon like Patriots against them on F-35s, because, for example, Patriots produce 600 rockets per year. Just imagine, and Russians can produce 600 drones, I don't know, for several days. It's just impossible.
And so how quickly could you make these drones? What are they made from? And could you make them as fast as the Russians can make their Shahed drones?
Yeah, of course. These drones is produced for 3D plastics, so most of them are 3D printed. And inside we have our own frame, which was created by us. And we can produce lots of them, actually. So we just need orders, money and people, and we can organize it here in Ukraine. We have lots of interesting areas where is safe, still safe right now. So it can be done on these territories, for example. Here in the western Ukraine, there are plenty of old salt mines, for example. It can be used for production places.
If you can make these in enough quantity, what sort of effectiveness would you expect using this against Shahed drones? I mean, could you shoot all of them down?
Mm-hmm. Actually, I live in Kyiv, and I heard Shahed lots of times in my city. And when you hear it, you understand that we need to do something with this drones. So my idea that we need to create some kind of a drone wall in Ukraine territory. First part will be in our borders, in our eastern borders, and then in other part of Ukraine. And I think that we can produce also lots of such kind of drones. Actually, and it is cheap. That's why we can use 2, 3, 5, even 5 against Shahed. Because Shahed costs something like $40,000. So this one costs up to $1,000.
My name is Paul Smith. I'm here representing with Drone Tech for Ukraine. I am a former soldier of the Ukrainian military. I was fighting from the beginning of the war in March all the way till September of 2023. Most people know me by my handle Nukin Fury, but what a lot of people don't know me as is I'm actually an engineer, and I own a manufacturing company in the States. And I specialize in manufacturing large bore weapon systems, such as a 40mm grenade and the 12-gauge shotgun.
So yeah, can you explain for us what these weapons are and how they work?
So I have developed a prototyped recoilless version of the shotgun that utilizes vented ports inside the barrel that redirect gas into the chamber and then out the back. It uses a solenoid mechanism and a spring-loaded firing pin mechanism to fire off the shotgun. It also uses the same firing mechanism to use on the 40 millimeter grenades. And I've actually gotten more interest on the 40 millimeter grenade variant than I did with the 12 gauge shotgun. The 40 millimeter grenade does not generate as much recoil as a 12 gauge shotgun does, so I don't need to mitigate the recoil force of the shot from the 40 millimeter as I would with the shotgun. So we can mount these directly onto several different types of drones that can carry the weight. It's a relatively lightweight system, which will allow the Ukrainians to fire against the Russians NATO standard high explosive dual purpose ammunition. So with the grenades, this is used for troops in the open and light armored vehicles, which we're seeing a lot of right now with the Russians. This gives standoff distance for the drones. You don't have to use a kamikaze drone for a particular Russian. You can use one of these grenade launcher drones to attack multiple Russian targets or have finish-up shots against disabled vehicles and disabled targets. The shotgun itself was designed several years ago as a concept for bringing down Russian FPV and reconnaissance drones. I'm also working with some individuals who are interested in developing a belt-fed version to fire from heavier drones against larger fixed-wing reconnaissance drones and Shahed drones.
So you could use these in an air defense role then to kind of protect cities like Kyiv?
Correct. You can use them as an air defense role, and there's also interest in just the shotgun barrels themselves without the vented ports to create a form of wall of shotguns that could be mounted and then directed and fired at a target.
I'm Preston Zen. I'm from Kaizen Labs. I'm the founder of it, and I'm here to bring attention to and showcase our acoustic and fiber optic drone takedown system.
And fiber optic drones have become a pretty difficult threat for Ukraine from Russia. What's some of the equipment you've got here that can help counteract that?
Sure. So here we have essentially an acoustic detector where it'll utilize the sound of the drone. These are all on board, so they don't need to be hooked up to the internet or hooked up to a power source. It's got a battery. And what it's going to do is it's going to hook like this on a helmet of a soldier so that they can actually have a detector on them at all times, and it will listen for the acoustic profile, basically the sound of the motor and the sound of the propeller moving, and it will hear that sound and it will then say, hey, I think I hear a drone here, this is my location, this is where I'm located, and then it will tell all the other devices in the network that it heard something in the area. Now we have another version. This is a little larger, and it uses a microphone array. So this would actually allow the detectors to detect the general direction and the general distance of where that drone might be, and then tell that to the network as well. And then we have this device here. This would basically showcase a map, kind of like a GPS or like a Google Maps thing, where it shows the last known locations and detections of these drones. And so with that, we have a couple anti-drone fiber drone takedown systems. One being a fiber optic or a drone takedown net system, where it quite literally shoots these nets with these custom weights like little bullets, and that will basically go and take down the drone, take it down by the propellers. And so these are the ways where we not only can detect fiber optic drones, but we can also take them down.
My name is Dmitro. I am an employee of Kvertus company. We are a Ukrainian manufacturer of electronic warfare and detection system. Modern war is a war of drones, and everybody sees that drones extremely effective weapon, and people should be protected, and we propose these solutions. Again, so some of our devices could be installed to vehicles. All depends on your need. It could be portable solutions for defense. It could be installed to your vehicles, could be installed to infrastructure. We have portable guns, again, of enemy drones.
What does it do that actually stops the drone when you point it at the drone and pull the trigger?
Our systems and our guns generate a radio signal exactly on a frequency which are being used in this drone. So signal are being created into our gun, are being increased by amplifier, and using angle 30 degrees should be directed to this drone. Drone lost connection between drone and operator and fallen down.
And you've got some other examples of equipment here, these towers. What do you do with these?
So over there in our exhibition you can see detection systems horizon. Horizon allow to you identify all drones around you on distance up to 30 kilometers. Even more, you can see and you can get a full information about this drone. You can identify distance to this drone, you can identify location of this drone, direction, how runs this drone, and even radio frequency are being steered these drones. After that, this information could be shared to operator of jamming system. We can propose over them, it's a smart jamming system. It's a new generation of jamming, which generate a very dedicated signal on diapason are being used exactly this drone. And drone will be switched off, your position, your people, your infrastructure will be saved. It's really important. Even devices were actual last year, now is nobody needs them because new dronomy are being used at our enemy, and we protect and we continue create new and we permanently do our best to improve our existing devices.
Yeah, so today we've seen a small, tiny drone. We call it mangal. Mangal in Russian, Ukrainian, the same means barbecue device. So where you put some meat to fry. So the idea was to use it as kamikaze drone. So come close to Russian tank and make barbecue. That was the idea. Well, at this moment it can be used as kamikaze drone and mine layer, but it can carry up to 50 kilograms easily, so we plan to use it as logistics drone as well. We have demand on that. The bigger one is our dual track drone. It's probably definitely one of the best tracked middle-sized drones in Ukraine because it has serial track, which is designed for really hard working and dynamic tension of the track, so we never lose track on this device, and it is voted the favorite UGV of so many battalions. It is designed for logistics operations first of all. Once we cover logistics, we start to play with assault operations, and we've already battlefield tested MK19 Grand Launcher on our DAL.
How can these drones give Ukrainian soldiers on the front an edge in this battle?
Well, first of all, covering logistics, it's priceless. Because you know that all frontline roads, they're under control of enemy FPV, and any trip on pickup truck or even armored vehicle, it's a great risk. But UGV drone to deliver 300 kilograms costs just 10,000 euro. It's nothing compared to the price of the life of our soldiers. So we commonly start to use them, and delivery of goods and food is priceless. But on the other hand, you know, it becomes so common when we make logistics and deliver some goods, then we have another order to take out wounded soldiers. Because it is also a great risk for evacuation brigade to come to the front line, evacuate the soldier. First time when we did it, our team was present in the control point, and we rescued 3 soldiers at the same time. It happened in April this year, and this experience is scaling and scaling. And now, you know, people who get wounded in the front line, they have a hope. It's very important. The price is about 3,000 euros, so it's nothing compared to the tank. And of course, it's designed to place anti-tank mines like TM62 or similar models. Currently in Ukraine, we have even smart detonators for these mines. So tank don't have to ride over it. It can be just 2 meters above it. It will explode and destroy the tank.
Fantastic. So what are your hopes for the future of these drones? Where would you like to see them used in the future?
I would like to see them somewhere in outskirts of Moscow.
Here you can see droid TW12.7, 50 BMG caliber. So it's created to carry the M2 Browning, and also we have some examples that can carry PKT, the caliber 7.62. The combat module that you can see here, and also the mobile platform. So I think in 2022 we cooperated with the Tank Bureau company and created this miracle. The optic module of the combat module consists from 3 cameras for a short distance, for a long distance, and also a thermal camera. And also there is some AI in that, so it can detect the target, so like a living power soldiers, and also track the target. So you can, if you see the car on the scale, so you can choose the car, and the turret will follow the target until it's in its range. As I know, Russians still don't have anything like this. So we have already sent a few examples to the 30th Assault Brigade and also Security Service of Ukraine Alpha unit. And as I know, we have a droid called D02, and he had already 21 of 23 successful missions. So some missions were logistics, and also they had a few combat missions in 3rd Assault Brigade.
My name is Andriy Tarasuk. I am project manager in company Kyiv. Our company produces military simulators. These simulators for the military training, and we produce a different kind of equipment from tanks, drones, simulator of Stinger, different kind of mines, RPG, grenades, a lot of stuff.
I wonder if you could talk us through some of this equipment you've got here.
This is our, how to say, started position in Kalashnikov assault rifle is unit in our equipment. We use laser beam. And this unit provides laser beam, and these sensors receive laser beam. For instance, if there are a battle of 2 teams, for example, blue and red, blue try to shoot your enemy and provide shoot by laser beam, and the sensors in enemy receive the laser beam and share this information with the planchette, and in application instructor can see all statistics of battle, of chronology, who was a winner, who was a loser, and provide some after action review.
And why is this equipment better than just taking people out with real rifles?
Thank you for the question. I think I have some complex answer. First of all, to be honest, it is cheaper. For example, if we will compare one shoot from real Stinger, one shoot costs several thousands of American dollars. But if you is our client, one shoot from Stinger provide, it's really cheaper. This is advantage. And to be honest, in Ukrainian army, there are not a lot of time to provide really training, and some group of units, some group of soldiers can provide this training simulations separately.
Maybe we could see some of the equipment in action. So once this grenade goes off, it will shock me.
Yes, for military need to understand that this is not a game. You need to understand that this is real simulation.
Oh. Ow!
In this table you can see virtual shooting range. This is a complex story. It is application in notebook, in Windows, Oculus, and some kind of equipment type gun. All the story works together. When a person try to provide this shoot, we turn on glasses, give this gun to his hand, and provide this shooting range. There are not a lot of different types of equipment. We have just gun and just Kalashnikov, just 2. But we can we can work with different distance, with different moved target or a stable target. It is for provide some basic understanding what it is this gun and what it is this Kalashnikov.